Hello everybody and welcome back to Addo's Playtime. Today we're jumping back into Oxygen Not Included, and today we're going to be doing some housekeeping items per your suggestions in the comments. And as we're speaking about comments, if you are enjoying the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe, as it does help our channel grow. We are past 60 subscribers now, and I could never have dreamed to have so many people enjoy what I'm doing. Also, I have listened to your comments and tried to respond in a timely fashion, as best as I can as life gets in the way. And you guys have seen some things around the base that are definitely things to fix. One of the things is that this pipe right here is actually not insulated. And this should probably be an insulated pipe, as I am losing some of my cooling. So we turned this sucker off a while ago. I kind of had a mistake that happened here that I fixed, vicariously on my own, and it has been off for quite some time, and it is a good time to break in here and get this done. So this is going to be the first quickie that we actually get done in a time, and right off the bat. So we will insulate this with ceramic, and we will pull that sucker down here. We will reinstall our liquid bridge that we destroyed, because that's how we do things, and we will insulate some more with ceramic, and we will put our crossover right there. So this will be something that we can get done really quick and easy. Should be simple to get fixed. Put a ladder segment there, so they should be able to jump in there. Let's turn that speed up, and let's let these guys get this done. So and donezo. Okay, so now what we'll do is we will do a high priority sweep command here. We'll leave that ladder in there because it doesn't bother anything, and then we'll put our brick back here and call it good. I should still have my liquids where they should be. Yes, everything is still where it should be. That is good. They got all the debris. Put this block here, and we will walk away and pretend that that is done. And it will be. The next thing I need to do is get some more steel production going. So for a lot of the things that we're going to be doing today, steel production is going to be priority number one. So what we want to do, I want to raise this floor up just a little bit and make get some boxes around here and some kilns and some things of that nature, so that we can get everything where it needs to be. So let me set that up, and I will pop back in when that is all done. I have changed some of the audio settings because I kind of built a new computer. So if the audio sounds a little off, it needs to be louder on my voice, louder on the music, however you want it. Just please leave a comment down below and give me some suggestions. And as we fix things, I'll go through what our fixes are and how we're going to fix them. So this is the first thing. I need steel post haste, and we will get this done. I will set up the build how I want it to look, and I will be right back as soon as I get it set up. Okay, so this is what it's going to kind of look like. We're going to have a second pump pumping up crude oil into here, dumping it out a little bit separate of that. I don't want both of them going into the same spot. I mean, yes, it is a lot of mass, but we don't want to heat it up too much as we're turning it into petroleum now. We'll have a couple kilns set for refined carbon, and we'll have those stored in here. So we will have like refined coal here, refined lime here, the iron ore here, with the iron being produced here. And hopefully, I don't know if I can, hopefully I can get away with just having one auto sweeper put here, maybe. I don't know if it's going to reach everything. It would be really nice if I could get away with one, but we may have to do two. We'll have one here taking care of the iron and putting the iron into the steel producer, and then we'll have one taking that refined carbon and putting it in here along with the lime and everything else. So let's let the dupes get at it, and we will come right back in. And with that pump getting made, that is the last thing that we need to get all this started. Okay, so let's get these things placed the way we want to. So we're going to go into here, and we're going to go to consumable ore. We're going to say coal for this one. We're going to set this at a priority 7 so that it gets filled up. In this one, another consumable ore, lime, and put that at a 7. Make sure it gets filled up as well. Under this one, we're going to do raw mineral, is it? Metal ore. And we're going to do iron into this one, set it a 7. In these, we're going to do, I don't know, let's do maybe 50 refined carbon there. And we'll do 50 refined carbon here. Bam. Oh, I didn't press enter. Yep, got to press enter, Edo. Boom. And here, we're going to set iron to steel. We're going to make 99 of those. Didn't press enter again. Good Lord. 99, enter. And in this one, we will also do 99, enter, again. So we can also use this refinery to get some other metals if we really truly wanted to. But yeah, so we should be good to go. I don't know what it's waiting for here, but maybe it just needs somebody to operate this. Now, I was kind of measuring it out as I was thinking it, and to get this to do what we want it to, I do not believe that we can get away with just one. I'm pretty certain that it fills and unloads from right there. I just don't want to risk the biscuit here. So I think what we will do, because I could probably put it there and it could do everybody, but I'm going to do 2 just to be on the safe side. Now, the auto sweeper is going to have to be made out of steel. We'll put 1 there, and that is all the steel that we have right now. These right here are going to just get a little bit of crude oil put on them. Crude oil, enable auto bottle. Put these at level 8. And then as soon as this gets going, we'll have the steel to do the things that we need to do here in the near future. So it looks like they're getting ready to, well, they're still filling up the bins and stuff like that. So here comes our crude oil here. It's going to get dumped on there. You're going to be sweep only now. And then you'll be sweep only now. And I don't care if it spills out over, because guess what? It's going right back where it came from. And this will just help keep these kilns a little bit on the cool side. That way we can run them for ever if we really wanted to. So now we're getting some iron. There we go. Looks good. The auto sweeper needs power, so we'll hook that up as well. Yeah. What is this one waiting on? The lime. Oh my. The lime takes the longest because it feels like we're almost out of lime, but all right, here we go. We're going to get that first batch of steel out of this area, and we will definitely think to call it good. Now, I'm going to let a little bit of steel bulk up here, and then I will be back as soon as we have some, because we're going to need steel for our next project over here with geothermal. We might even try to tackle this a little bit. I don't need anything to do this per se, but I want to get some steel back up and running, and we will go from there. So we got 200. Actually, we'll go ahead and set up this second auto sweeper to be, you know what? I'm going to put this one right. This one is going to, nope, it's not going to catch that. So we're going to put that one right there in case I want to do some more metal refining on this one for temporary purposes. So hook that power up. I'm going to let some steel catch up to me, and then we will pop back in as soon as we have a decent amount of steel. So actually, while we wait for steel to catch up to us, we're going to break back in here and do some of the things that were suggested in the comments. So this is another thing where we can pretty easily get this fixed up and no problem at all. So one of the things it was is that temp shift plates do transfer at an angle. So if we look here, our insulation is getting a little warm. I mean, it's a little warm. It's 410 degrees. It's very warm, but it's oh my gosh, that insulated tile is super duper hot, but we made this out of obsidian on purpose. Now, if I remember correctly, I don't believe that ceramic actually does anything. Like what temperature turns into magma at 1800. So I'm not too concerned over that, but there were some very good suggestions on how to manage this a little bit better. So the things we're going to do, and I did test this off camera, we're going to kind of slowly break these two down, maybe just one, perhaps two. I did do two. I changed the temperature here, and it made things a lot better. So we want to move our liquid vent over, and I want to take down one of these right away. Now, the reason I want to do this slowly is so that the incoming crude oil has a chance to cool this down, because when I did it quickly, I didn't turn anything to sour gas, but I was breaking pipes like crazy. And then on top of that, my steel pump ended up not having a decent temperature of petroleum here, and it was breaking constantly. And I had to keep coming in, and it was a total waste of steel, and I don't want to waste my steel. I'm also going to go ahead and start building this up to build out my liquid reservoirs, that I want this to go into these liquid reservoirs and all that stuff. So let's get some things going. I actually should probably, now that I'm thinking about it, because that is starting to really pool up and I don't like that. Let's go ahead and we will, no, I want it to finish out. I don't want any crude oil sitting in here. That was one of the mistakes I learned as I was testing this earlier. So I want to go ahead and let that just finish out that stuff. We may come in here. I mopped it up and everything to get kind of like a fresh start on this. So let's get that done. We're going to move this over here. Oh, as soon as we get rid of that ladder tile, we're going to take some automation wire and we're going to move the automation wire to here. I don't want to hook it up just yet. All right, there we go. Now we got the thermo sensor is going to go here. We're going to destroy this, actually everything in that tile. And we're going to shift that over. So that's the plan. And then at the same time, I need to come over here and fix my liquid pipes, because this is not going to work. This is a mess. It's an absolute mess and I don't like it. So I'm going to fix these pipes. I'm going to finish queuing up all this stuff, and we'll talk about it once I get it kind of done. Once this is all said and done and ready to rock again, I will pop back in and show you what I've done and talk about why I did it, and all the suggestions, like I said, that you guys came up with are incredibly helpful. I would have never had thought to do these myself. So yeah, so let me get that all fixed up and then I will be right back. Okay, so our dupes are finishing up the last couple tanks here. So this is a tank of tanks. And the reason I want to do that is because I really don't want this to shut off if I can help it. Eventually, I think I'll probably get into some petroleum generators, as we don't have a volcano, so we very well can't do anything. So these will store up quite a bit of stuff here. Now, what I've done is, yes, this is not as pretty as this stuff, the upside down L's, and I've made room for more of them. I've also added in a pitcher pump because I want to be able to pull out some petroleum if I want to. But this hydro sensor will make sure that it stays at 500 to here. So all these things won't overheat because the petroleum, well, I say that, but you know, famous last words again. I won't say that. There's a high likelihood that they will not overheat in this petroleum, as it's 146 degrees, the same as down here. Now, I know I've shut this off, but with the changes that we've made over on our petroleum generator side is that we have put everything onto this side, allowing this to get down here, you know, get to it a little sooner. Now, when I was testing it out, 395 was almost the perfect temperature, almost. So I'm going to do a save because I didn't do that the last time when I was starting this sucker up. And yeah, I had to keep going back like way far and having the dupes rebuild everything. So the idea is that this will be just about, I want to say it was like 380 something before it got to here. And so by the time it got here and dropped down, it hit that temp shift plate and hit this thermo sensor, it didn't need a lot to state change. And that was what was good about it. Our petroleum comes out of here and it was dropping over at about 410. And then it was heating everything up accordingly. Now, like I said, this line here kept breaking when I was trying to go over the 395 mark. So I don't want to go too much past that. It's probably going to be a thing where we have some issues getting it started up again, as this is going to be, this is all pretty cool down here, and it's going to cool this petroleum off even more. So yeah, see, we're only, that crude oil is really, really cold now. So it has the potential to spill over, which is why I left this block here. In my testing, I let this block go after these things started really kind of getting warm, but it may need a little bit of kick here at the beginning just to get things going. But we'll see how it is. Now, like I said, it ran really well when I tested it for, I don't know, it was about 50 cycles or so. I just let it play and let it see how it did on its own. But as we can see, our crude oil is now starting to go back up. This is the hottest point because this is the fresh petroleum coming over. So this is the most dangerous spot. This is where it broke first the most. And then once it broke here and started backing up, the 400-degree petroleum was just annihilating these gold pipes. Now, if I wanted to change these to steel, or I wanted to reduce the amount of oil that's in here, which is potentially what we're going to have to do if we stay on petroleum, because as I said, I believe that these things only put out 300 or 3.33 grams per second. Can't remember where it is that I find that, but yeah, I'm pretty certain that these are only 3.33 grams. Yeah, right. A second. So we can only do 10 kg or 9 kg. Well, eventually we'll have to get going through this if we want to continue burning the petroleum. Petroleum has very few uses for me at this point because I do plan on trying to get into the nuclear stuff and go with the rockets and all that stuff, and maybe even try for a reactor and do that for power. That's pretty sustainable power. And we have quite a bit of radioactive materials here on the map, so we won't have to go into space too soon, but we will if we. The more efficient way is, as I've seen, you use the B-tinies and all that stuff, but they are hard to get to your planet, like really hard to get to your planet. So let's see how our crude oil is doing. It's still moving up. Could do a little bit better. How is our petroleum here looking? 406. Yeah, I did destroy this in my test. I kind of am debating whether or not to do it. I probably should. There was a couple times that it popped over the oil, but now that our oil is rolling, I don't think that that's going to be a possibility. Let's go ahead and pop this tile and see what we get. We should be okay. $390, $391. How are we looking here? Oh yeah, we're good. This might be a little bit dangerous. I know that that's probably not enough to, because when that does start to pop in there as crude oil before it starts state changing, it could very well pop over the top here. And that is one concern that I have. So we'll let this keep rolling. So see, now we're at 416, 410. Crude oil is coming in at 370. We're getting much closer to when I was testing it. So let's let this roll for a bit. We'll sweep this up and we'll get out of here. So, and then we should, as soon as this pops there, we'll start filling up these tanks and we will have gobs and gobs of that. Now, as far as steel goes, we got 2,000 kilograms of it. So we are going to start in over here. My plan is I want to brick in these two ends. I want to destroy this stuff. We'll deconstruct all of that because we don't really need it anymore. And what we will do is we will put one of those there before we destroy it. It makes it easy because, you know, oh, cancel destruct. No. And then, yeah, we'll get all this done because we're going to put a layer of petroleum across here. I don't know what keeps popping up there, but you need to please stop. But yeah, so I'm going to start with that. We're going to get, we're going to bust in here, drive this stake down even farther because we have solidified this. And well, gosh, that's really hot. Last I checked, it was all 500. Gosh, it's still really warm. The temperature has gone up a bit. Okay. But yeah, we're gonna drive this stake down even farther. We're gonna go down really deep now because yeah, I noticed that this was solidifying and that cannot happen. But at the same time, I want to automate these steam turbines. So I don't remember if I said already, but yeah, I've never automated steam turbines to a power generation, and I want to try to do that. I want to get this to where these two stay on all of the time generating power, but these will kick on when the power gets too low. So the idea is that we go ahead and, you know, put a layer of crude oil here, get all this stuff going, and then have the batteries, the automated smart batteries, to basically right there. Now we'll move this over. That way it makes it look uniform, because uniformity is awesome. We are not going to make those out of copper. That was a huge mistake. We need them made out of steel. But anyways, I'll get this set up the way that I think it should be. And then we'll start digging in here and doing that fancy angle building that we love so much. And we'll go from there. So once that gets done and I get a little bit more steel, I will pop back in. All right. So what we've done here is we have these set up to automation, and we just need to set these guys. So if the power gets below, we'll say, I don't know, 80% on this battery to maybe like 50. We'll say 50. I want these guys to kick back in. On this side, if they get below, we'll say 55. We'll say 55 to the low threshold should be what? Maybe 40. These guys will kick in and start pulling some power as well. So that way, these are running all the time, and these are running when they need to. As we can see on this particular battery, for some reason, it is just not charging. I don't know why that is, but that's okay. And then back home with our main power here, we will set this to be a low of 15. Whoa, not 153. And a high threshold of, I don't know, let's say 30. And then that will kick these on as needed. So these kind of keep that powered. Eventually all these things even out, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, so we should be good as far as power production. So we can see that these have already shut off because their power is done, and we're not drawing as much. So therefore probably this one is charging. So, well, it was charging, but it's not charging anymore. But as soon as it gets to its threshold, now what that means is in my brain, what it's telling me is that this will kind of turn on as needed now and use less of this steam, use less of the heat from here, maybe helping us not solidify so much magma. Again, hindsight being what it was, I probably shouldn't have chose this location, as there is a lot of magma here, but I'm going to eventually have to pull all this magma up. But yeah, let's go over and see how this is going. So our crude oil is coming in at about 380, which is what happened when I was testing it off through the week. Yeah, 385. I think it got as high as 387 at one point, which is perfect, because that means it only needs a little goose from this to actually go over the limit, the top of it. So yeah, 385 is a pretty comfortable level. This petroleum is 401. Yeah, and we're still good in this pool here. It's only up to 151, and I think we can go up past 275, yes, before it overheats. So that will be good. It does appear, though, that we are filling up our tanks. So yes, we are just started getting that into our tanks. So good. I like it. All right, so this seems to be working for now. Let's focus on digging this out now. So we'll just cut in across here. Yes, we will cut in across here. And another thing I want to do is I want to deconstruct these so that I can have some storage tanks set up for when we'll sweep this stuff up as we go, so we don't lose any more diamond, because boy, oh boy, that 200 kg of diamond is so valuable. I wish I still had it. And I'm going to probably destroy these and just butt that sucker right up against there and call it good, because that steel door is never, I mean, I think, what is its overheat temperature? Or I mean, I think it's more about its melting temperature than anything else. So I don't think it overheats as far as it just melts, but I don't really know where that's at, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. So yes, we will get these 3 guys going. Did I make those out of sandstone? You know what? We should not make those out of sandstone because we're probably going to be dealing with some very hot things. So let's make them out of something like, I don't know, obsidian. And we'll put them a little bit closer because now that we can. So we'll put those 3 as obsidian and we will start kind of destroying this stuff out and getting ourselves down and doing that angle building that we love so much. You know what? I don't want to destroy these because we want to use those. So we will just do this as far down as we can while destroying this middle part out and putting ladders in and so on and so forth. We'll try to go all the way out like so. And this will be our heat spike. Maybe we'll even go down even farther to draw on some of this magma. I would love to be able to cut that out and have that magma just smacking right up against our window tile here. But for now, we won't do that. For now, we will worry about what we are currently doing. And we need to kind of do this in a bit of a hurry so that we don't lose out on all of our power. Because here pretty soon, the power is going to get low enough that all of these are just going to be constantly running, but they're only going to be generating very few watts of power. So, or kilowatts, or what are they producing? Do they produce kilowatts or just watts? It just says watts, but anyways. So this will be set for igneous rock and obsidian on this one. And then we will do the diamond here, and we will do abyssalite here. And this will be a sweep only command on all 3 of these. And we will put these as a priority 9 because everything else is set to like 5s and 6s, but we want to make sure that these things get over there as quickly as possible. Now, as far as what kind of ladder segments we're going to use, well, you guessed it, obsidian. So we will put the obsidian ladder all the way down, and we will carefully destroy the 2 sides and let them angle build this all the way down. So I will let the dupes do their thing here. It'll take quite a bit of time to get this done and all the way drilled all the way down, but we will still need to try to dig these out and put those down as well. I may just let it be. We may get to a certain point and then we come back in when we need to and yeah, like put the diamond tiles in as things solidify. I don't know. This could be a non-stop maintenance thing. I really don't like that sort of stuff. I'd rather just one and done something. But as far as I can tell, this is going to probably be a non-stop maintenance until maybe we boil all this oil and then turn this into it, as we have tons more magma to draw upon here. We may even put it here. We could probably squeeze it in here. I know that was my plan before, and I'm telling you, if we put a magma spike down into this down here, it would be pretty awesome, and it would last. I imagine, again, famous last words, but I imagine that it would probably last a long time. So, anywho, I am going to let this get going, and I will pop back in as things look better and dupes get this stuff done. So my dupes were taking forever to get down here and get some of this built up, and they've only done very little of it. And then I realized something. There wasn't a lot of idle dupes, and I have no more reed fiber. So that got me thinking, why do I have no more reed fiber? And what it was is I'm not producing enough polluted water. And I have a whole bunch of worn Atmos suits here because I thought, oh, well, I'll just up the priority here and they'll repair it. But I have no reed fiber. So what we have done is we have run a very long polluted water all the way from here all the way up. Now, I did it in an emergency, and I know I'm probably going to have to put some filtration here because I do have quite a mix of different fluids here. So I'm gonna fix that right now. But as of right now, I went ahead and put that up here as quickly as possible to get these guys going. Because, man, oh man, I'm glad I caught that early. That would have been tragic we would have been in a world of hurt had we would have had to start letting people out without Atmos suits. And it would, this place is with access down here and them needing to do things down here, it would have never, ever been successful. So I'm going to kind of plug away at this in the background, but I'm going to keep a close eye on these plants and getting this thimbleweed as quickly as possible. It is super duper important at this point that we get these guys hydrated. So yeah, it doesn't. Oh, I've got two flows going two different directions. I'm going to fix this right now. I'm going to basically just do that and have them flow all through that. But yeah, that was super dangerous really fast. And that could have gotten us in a world of hurt really quick. I'm going to fix this piping here so that it prioritizes things and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm probably going to bring it around and dump it in like it was before. But yeah, oh man, I'm glad I caught that now, or else we could have been in a big heap of trouble. There we go. That looks a little bit better. So it's still going to let the polluted water from our toilets, which obviously isn't that much, come through and get used. I'll probably put a priority on this in the near future, but for right now, we're going to be eating through this because we're going to get this as quickly as possible. I'm going to put these things at a priority level like 7 million if I can do it. Nope, not 5, 9. So that way our dupes, which are pretty much caught in here at this point. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Do we want any of these? No, we'll go with the nice suit. I'll put that on somebody right away. Let's see who's going to get it. Bert, you're next in line. All right. So yeah, we're going to let these things grow. We're going to get that reed fiber going. Man, I'm so glad I found that actually, oh man, that would have been really, really bad. Ugh, I mean, I can't even make suits. I can't do anything. I got people just standing around in here. There's really nothing for my dupes to do inside the base. We could expand out and things of that nature, but yeah. Okay. So they're doing their thing. We also had this breakdown, which I'm going to fix that here right now. I'm going to put some crude oil across here, destroy this and rebuild it. And that'll fix that steel thing. I've never had one of these things that are, I mean, it's made out of ceramic. I never knew it could break, but I mean, steel is pretty hot stuff. So we'll put that back in and let it be. But and then this should get done fairly quickly. There we go. And then we'll have that oil across there. And these things should be, yeah, see, it's already going down, way down in heat. It'll be great. You are going to do steel. We're going to keep you at, even though we know you've already done quite a bit, we're going to keep you at 99. Yep, you just keep cranking out that steel. We are up to 5 tons of steel, which is fantastic. And the petroleum boiler seems to be doing fine. I think that was great improvements there. I did appreciate the comments on that. Same as up here. We seem to be rocking and rolling. I don't know why it's not heating up everything, but yeah, I mean, it should get there before too long. I've never seen it do something like this before. I don't know. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll just let it be. Okay, now this is currently down, so we have got to start making some quick work of this to get our heat back up so that we can get that back to touching there and doing its, heating up of that water. Actually, in the meantime, these should cool down in minutes. Oh, what's going on there? How did that get entombed? Well, I guess it's a good time to bust back in then. We can also come up here and get that ceramic that we left behind for some reason. Well, let's dig you out. And sweep you up level 9 style. And we'll get all that done. So anyways, I'll keep popping back in as we start making progress on this. But yeah, I'm glad that I saw that Atmosuit problem early on. So yeah, we'll keep plugging away at it. Let the dupes do their thing, and I'll pop back in when we're back to driving that spike down. All right, and it's all done. Now, I think there's a little bit of graphical error here. I think it's saying it's igneous rock here, but this is pretty much the end of it. It could be that this is magma is so compressed that it's saying something weird here. So, but that is the end of that, and we are kicked off and rolling again right here. So we have tons of heat again. We're doing, man, I say that, but this isn't going to last too long. I really need to get that industrial brick going so that it can produce a little power. We can, you know, whatever. The other issue I'm seeing now is it looks to be that we're running low on lime. That's not a lot. So we are not going to get as much steel as I need. Usually what I like to do is when we dig into space is to, you know, try to wall off everything completely. I mean, that's always a good idea to do that. We may have to make rocket silos. I've never tried that, but again, willing to try anything once. So, but yeah, so space is kind of the next thing here. We need to get into space. We need to get up here, start exploring, start looking at things, start seeing what's around the map. This was kind of the big project today. I would have gone deeper, except I almost lost a couple of dupes. They did something silly and they angle built something and then destroyed something that was a very low priority. And it's kind of why we lost a lot of materials down here again. And I almost lost a few, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to lose a dupe down there in the magma. It would be crazy to try to get him out of there. But we'll leave these things here for now. And to be honest, I'll probably I will put them at such a low priority that there's no way that anything will ever get swept here. But I'll leave that stuff there because we're probably going to have to come back here and drive that stake down again to gain some more heat. Now, maybe you can let me know in the comments if it would probably be smarter to insulate this outside edges of this and just have one tiny little spike going down. I kind of like the fact that it's touching everything, pulling the heat out of this, because for some reason this got back up to 1300 degrees. Now it's pulling the heat out of it pretty quick. This obsidian, I know it doesn't really transfer heat very well, but it's giving its heat here pretty good. And this is rolling that up fairly well. Now, here we are back up into the green, and what I thought might happen seems to be happening. It appears that these things are kicking on as it's needed, and the temperature is staying at a reasonable temperature. Now, I did turn this off for a little bit just to kind of help out there, but I am also going to turn this thing down to about 20. You know what? It'd be easier if I just type it in. That would be smarter. I'll cut that down to 20 and see if I can't. How did I get? Oh, that was the dirt. Yeah, we had some dirt turned into glass. Blah, 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 blah. Speaking of which, at what point does glass liquefy? Oh, we're good. Okay, 1400 degrees. We can hold that. So yeah, so that is kind of where we're at with all of this. This was more painstakingly. I'm sure that if I did this in a debug map and really tested it out, it would probably, I would have learned what to do right off the bat. Like how quickly would I solidify this much massive magma and all that kind of stuff. So I'm glad that I have you guys to help me out in the comments, because like I said, I try things, I move forward. If it doesn't work, I come back to it and try to fix it. This is not a permanent solution. This is going to solidify it sooner than later. So it may be that we need to eliminate our giant pool of petroleum here and get that going now. Oh my gosh. All my tanks are full. Dang it. Okay. Time to cut the petroleum off. That is, we will just cut you off there, let you finish what you're doing, and then, yeah, you're going to just be there. So we need a bigger petroleum tank for sure. That is something that we can do. I might just build that sucker all the way up here and encase this whole area in. That might be something we do in a future episode. The other thing is I also saw that our calories started getting really low. Some kind of weird thing happened where all of my hatchling eggs were up here and they all hatched, and I had I don't know, couple dozen hatches just crawling around here. So I had to quickly get rid of that. One of the things I'm noticing is, I mean, I keep getting polluted dirt and I keep getting all kinds of things that are rot pile and stuff getting collected here. And I have to get some more permanent kitchen done up. I really need a more permanent solution to my kitchen. The deep freeze is the thing. So that's going to be an episode of its own. I've never done the deep freeze because I've never played the DLC before, and you used to be able to keep hundreds of thousands of calories in storage like this. A carbon pit, boom, 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 it's done. But yeah, I don't want to waste any more material than I have to. I know that hatches are not sustainable forever. I mean, we have over 3,000 tons of igneous rock. We can survive our hatches on igneous rock for quite some time, but I don't want to do that forever. We need to find a more sustainable. Now, I know that Volve are the way to go in the future, and I'm pretty sure we could do like a starvation ranch for our shovels and do some regolith and all that jazz. But man, that requires going into space and things of that nature. So what would be your suggestion? Where do you think we should go next? Do you think we should try to get a more permanent storage here for our food, do the deep freeze and all that stuff? Do you think we should go into solar? Should we come up to space and start putting our solar power in to save our magma and get off of geothermal? Do you think that we should start in on our industrial brick here and get it going and rocking and rolling? So I would really love to know your suggestions in the comments below. So if you do have time to leave a suggestion, please do so. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you've watched to the end of the video, I do appreciate you watching it all the way through. But please subscribe, as it does help our channel out. Hit the notification bells so you can be alerted anytime that any Oxygen Not Included or any other content that you might enjoy gets uploaded. So again, please leave your comments and we'll see where we're going from here. I have my own kind of ideas of where we should go, but yeah, hit one of the buttons at the end of the screen to see if there's some other content you might enjoy. And don't forget to keep gaming for the love of games. Bye now.